Okay. So we are in our fourth session of corporate restructuring. So as far we have seen, like what is corporate restructuring? So why organization corporates go for a restructuring process? So it may be for many reasons, like they want to, like rearrange something, like in their corporate environment, or the reason may be, like they want to go with some, like adapt to the external changes. So something is trending in the industry, so they want to know, like adapt those external changes, and that's why they go for restructuring process. And the other reason may be, like they when they identify or when they forecast or foresee that a particular business operation or a department or a project is not going to do well, it's going to like cause a severe damage to the like the industry, that is not to the company, that is like it's going to get like it's going to face loss in nearby future. So when the company predicts that their own function or their own particular activity or their own projects, they are going to face loss, then like they go for restructuring process. They try to like wind up those projects, or like dissolve those activities or projects which is not going to make any profit for the company, or which is going to do some like cause any dangerous effects for the company. So that may be the reason. And new generation, like when the new generation like people takes up the top management positions, like they want something new in their organization, so they want to like rearrange everything like in their organization, because they don't want to go with the traditional way of like running the business. So they want to like align with the latest technology, or like they want to align with the latest trends happening in the industry. So for any of these reasons, like the companies go for corporate restructuring. So there are many ways of like restructuring process, either to dissolve or like terminate a particular operation, or a group of individuals, that is employees, or one single employee, or merging two departments together, or they can like go for merging with like another company. There is like making their company to get merged with another company and form a new venture. And or they can go for like acquisition, or they can agree to get like acquired by a bigger company. So for any of these reasons, uh, uh, like any of these strategies, the corporate like organizations can follow for restructuring process. So how to implement the restructuring? So it shouldn't be immediate. It shouldn't be like something which can be done in one day. So the employees, the stakeholders, they have to know like informed well in advance that restructuring process is going to happen, and what are the measures the top management has decided to like make uh, as a restructuring process. So what are the stages, when it's going to start and when it's going to end, and what are going to be the changes. So all this information, it has to be like shared with all the employees, make them understand the importance of restructuring, and then slowly implement the restructuring process stage by stage, not immediately. And before implementing the restructuring, the main assets of the companies, the shareholders, the founder, that is the investors of the company, they have to be like made safe and secure. Because when restructuring is happening, and it means the company is like little vulnerable during that phase. Because all the employees will not be like accepting and adapting to the restructuring process. So few of the employees, or like a group of employees, in in collaboration with the unions, trade unions, they may oppose the restructuring process. So during this phase, during this stage of restructuring, like the company may maybe vulnerable. So in those cases, the main assets of the company is the capital of the company, the shareholders, the top management, they have to be like made secure. So once the these things are secured, the company can go with the restructuring process. That is implementing stage by stage and not immediately. And there are various types of restructuring. That is no like we have seen trade-off, spin-off, carve-out, equity carve-out, and no like we have seen no like we have seen many types of no like carve-out, like strategies for restructuring process. Now, in this session, our last session, let's see the remaining concepts as well. So one more strategy the companies follow is corporate split. So this is not like making new subsidiaries for the company. Usually, no, like the carve out and no, like the other forms of split outs. No, like usually the subsidiaries are formed, and the company what does the main company what does it do is they will invest their capital. They will know like disperse their capital to these subsidiaries, but the main decision making will be with the parent company. So this is the process, no, usually, no, like followed in carved out, no, like carved out strategy and all. So corporate split is something different. Here, corporate, the main parent company is being, no, like split into two or three companies, and no, each company has its, no, like own management. Here, there is no need to split the capital. There is no need to know like split the capital. So this can know like since the main parent company is no like a split into two, three smaller companies. For the remaining company, the child companies, more investors know like they can know like come and invest in the newer companies. So this is the know like the best way to increase the capital to know like increase the cash flow into the newer organizations. So the corporate split procedure makes it easier for companies to split business units into new companies or the existing companies. And prior to the introduction of the corporate split procedure, it was possible for a company to split a business unit into new subsidiary through either an investment in kind or post-establishment transfer of business. But these traditional methods, no, to complete such transactions, no, they were so expensive. There is no like going for a split in business and no like making new subsidiaries, no. That is a traditional process, and it requires no like more time like more time is required, and no like more money is required, and more expert opinion is required. Usually, no, like the asset valuation by the coach, no, so they appoint an inspector, no, which was required to implement these traditional methods of no like corporate equity carve out or the spin off or whatever thing. So that's why no like nowadays new companies they opt for corporate split instead of going for a subsidiary company and no like carve out and no like spin off things. So corporate split, no, like it's a best thing to increase the capital, safeguard the main resources, the main assets of the company. At the same time, these splits, no, the new companies, the child companies, they can be no like given with the autonomous status. That is no like they can make their own decision making process. They can have their own management. They don't have to depend on the parent company anymore. So if so in that case there is no need for the parent company to know like disperse their capital to know like give off their capital to these child companies. So it doesn't involve the distribution of shares directly to the shareholders of a transfer or company, enables a parent company to focus on the core business, because no, since they don't have to know like disperse their capital, they don't have to know like give a part of their capital out to these child companies in the form of no like split. They can the parent company they can no focus on the core business because capital is secure, so they have not given to the child company. So capital is no like already there. So they can focus on the core business and improve the control of span of the parents management team by reducing parental involvement and accommodate different personnel and compensation systems. So control span, no, like it's completely with the parent company only. I mean, the main parent company's control system is with the parent company's top management. So what about the other, no, like the child companies? They have their own management. They have their own decision making team. At the same time, such splits enable a parent company to unlock the value of a business unit by clarifying the business unit's responsibility and authority. So each business unit, that is the child business unit, They have been given with responsibilities and authorities, and providing a certain degree of autonomy to foster an independent culture. They can have their own corporate culture, and expediting the business units decision making to improve business performance. So since these child companies don't have to depend on the parent company for any decision making process, they can take their own decisions. The decision making will be faster. So they don't have to depend on the parent company, right? So they can take their own decisions. So it would be much faster. And enhancing visibility for customers, suppliers, and potential alliance partners or buyers. More significantly, corporate splits facilitate the participation of strategic partners who can provide necessary capabilities. Then is tracking stock. This is another strategy. So it's a class of a parent company common stock that provides a return to investors linked to the performance of a particular business unit within the parent company. So it is classification, classification of the parent company's common stock. So they are not tracking those stocks. So for example, the stock is the finished products. That's usually called a stock. So a particular stock, it may be classified into one group, and another stock which may be classified into another group. So in theory, tracking stock can create many benefits for both the parent company and the subsidiary. So when they have classified these stocks, what the company does is, what the parent company does is, decides which stock to be sold out on the first basis, and they can decide the price level as well. So depending on the the market culture, the industry culture, or their competitors the pricing strategy. So all this is taken into consideration, and they can fix the cost, fix the price of the cost which they are ready to sell. So once a classification is done, so the parent company can decide which stocks to keep with them and which stock it has to be sold off, so that they can again raise the capital. A tracking stock does not require the parent company to make the tax, legal, governance, and organizational changes required for an equity carve out or spin off. Example, no separate board of directors is required for this purpose because everyone here takes decision autonomously. This provides the main appeal to the parent company over the other alternatives. So here, an important point we have to notice, tracking stocks are often terminated. It is stopped when the circumstances and objectives of the business of parent company change, and consequently the parent company decides to sell, spin off, or spin in the tracked business. So when they have decided to sell it, there the tracking stock stops. So because already they have classified these stocks, and they have not decided which stock to sell off and which stock to keep in their possession. So once the sell off is done, once the carve out is done, so they can stop this tracking for tracking stock strategy. So a few more things to be noted here is the advantages and disadvantages of tracking stock. See, when a company starts to track its stocks, obviously the other companies in the industry, the other competitors in the industry will come to know about it. Even if the company shares the information to the parties or not, that doesn't matter. But anyhow, somehow this information will spread in the industry. The competitors will come to know about it. So the companies know which takes a decision of tracking the stock. No, they have to be very careful. No, they have to carry out the strategy. No, in a very careful manner, because if not done properly, if not implemented in a proper way, so the company can face many disadvantages as well. So first, let's see what are the advantages of tracking the stock. Parent company continues to control the business until the main ownership unit and the main ownership of its assets, because the main stock is not sold, it's still with the company. So already they have classified the main stock, so that is not kept with them, and all the other subsidiary stocks are only sold out. A tracking stock can raise capital on attractive terms. A publicly listed tracking stock establishes a market value for the business to which management compensation programs can be tied. A tracking stock preserves the operating benefits of a single integrated corporation, that is a parent company. The parent company may use the tracking stock as acquisition currency, because once they start to like sell off those like stocks to raise the capital, obviously acquisition of currency happens. And let's see the disadvantages. The parent company issuing a tracking stock must create financial firewalls between the business and its rest of its operations. That is, day operations, no, it has to be carried out. No, that has to go on, but with the working capital and not with the main capital, because the main capital is already secured. Before implementing the strategy, the main capital is already secure. So only with the working capital, all the operations should go on. So no, like they have to use the working capital for no, like spending for the operations, the day-to-day operations. The parent company will shoulder the administrative burden in connection with the tracking stock. So administration things the parent company can take care. A company that issues a tracking stock creates a potential for a conflict at the board level between the interest of two sets of shareholders. So difference of opinion, conflict may arise no in the shareholders group, because no, like not everyone is going to know like agree to this process. So few shareholders may say no, like don't sell the stock A, sell stock B, and the other shareholders may say no, like don't sell stock B, sell stock C. So there is a possible for conflict among the shareholders, so it has to be dealt no in a very no like gentle way. Investors may not give as much value to the tracking stock as if shares represented a direct ownership interest in the assets of the tracked business. So these are the disadvantages. So the companies, the corporates, know before taking up this strategy, that is tracking stock strategy, they have to be very careful. They have to make their shareholders know, like understand, make them know, like accept the decision, whichever the the main investor has no like is no like they have whatever the main investor is taking. So joint venture, this is another strategy, a kind of no like corporate restructuring strategy, no like carried out by organizations, most famous as well. So in Western countries, no like joint ventures are more common. They are no like more common. So insurance companies and banking companies, no like they jointly come together and they come up with no like banking insurance companies. And you have these separate financial institutions, they join hands with no like with legal institutions, and no like jointly they no like uh, start a new venture no like for giving legal assistance to no like corporates. So joint venture is no like very common in no like Western and European countries. So when well-crafted, joint ventures can achieve many of the same objectives for the parent company as an acquisition of the other company. So the best example we can have is no like Maruti and Suzuki. So Suzuki is a Japanese company, automobile company, and no like Maruti is a Indian company. Again, they are into many ventures. That is no like they are into no like logistics. They are into automobile, everything. So what they have done is they have joined hands. They have no like joined hands and created a joint venture called Maruti Suzuki, a new automobile company. So this Maruti Suzuki has its own management, has its own decision making process. They don't have to rely on Maruti or Suzuki for taking any decision on this. So the Maruti Suzuki, no, it has its own CEO, it has its own departments, it has its own employees, it has its own payroll system. Everything is no like autonomous. So it includes access to the resources and capabilities of the joint venture partner, but at a lower cost and without many of the risk associated with the acquisition. So what do these joint venture companies get? They get assistance. That is no like technology related to service, related to sales, distribution, procurement, production, warehousing. So everything no like really all the components no related to all the components, they get assistance, they get no like support from both Maruti as well as from Suzuki. So this is how no they share the resources. Consequently, the parent can increase the value of a subsidiary by way of a JV, that is joint venture. So successful joint ventures are often followed by IPOs, that is initial public offering. That is, these companies know like they become a private limited company, then they can know like offer uh, public shares. That is, no like they can go for IPO. So joint ventures may be also used as a means of divesting a business. So initial a parent company is there, they want to expand their business, diversify their business. The best thing is to go for joint venture. The first step is the creation of a JV with the strategic partner. Often the strategic partner controls the major stake, that is over 50% in the JV company. So the second step is the acquisition of the minority shares of the JV company by the strategic partner. So when Maruti like entered partnership, there is no like JV with the Suzuki. So maximum stake was like the Suzuki was having. So what Suzuki tried to do was they tried to acquire all the minority shares of like Maruti so that they can like become the decision makers in the joint venture. Such two-stage transactions provide the acquiring partner with benefits, including a means to encourage the partner to assist in building the business, a means to get to know the business before a subsequent acquisition, and a means to lay the groundwork for smooth integration after a later acquisition. So, buyout firms are active buyers of non-core subsidiaries of large public companies. Who are these buyout firms? So those are the firms who doesn't do any kind of procurement or production. They are not into any kind of marketing. So they just buy these corporates and like sell these corporates. That is, buy the business ideas and sell the business ideas. Whoever is interested in the industry, they sell those business ideas. So these are called buyout firms. So yes, we have no like few more points on joint ventures. So although joint ventures are not their traditional business model, buyout firms may be interested in forming JVs. So these buyout firms, they buy and sell. They are into not any traditional business. That is, they don't deal with manufacturing. They don't deal with no like distribution. They don't deal with no like production, nothing. So such buyout partnerships can be used as a means of divesting non-core businesses when a cash sale is available or unavailable or undesired. So what are the advantages of like a buyout partnership for the parent company? So a means to encourage the partner to assist in building the business. So Maruti encourages the Maruti Suzuki and Suzuki also encourages Maruti so that like as a joint venture they share the resources, they share the technology, they share the manpower, and they try to become a single joint venture company. Experienced buyout firms can greatly assist in building the subsidiary, recruiting a management team, forming relationships with customers, and setting business strategy. And buyout firms invest cash into the subsidiary and assist in funding key business initiatives. So these buyout firms, they will know like they can, if they want, they can invest more in the subsidiary which they have bought before selling it. The involvement of experienced and respected buyout firms may be a significant asset to the subsidiary in a later IPO. So there are few challenges as well, limitations as well, no, for a buyout partnership company. A buyout firm may not invest in an entity when the parent company is in control. So even if the buyout firm buys a company, but still it is in the parent company's control, then this buyout firm will not invest in that. Only if they take the complete ownership of the entity, they will be investing and reselling it. Otherwise, they don't invest in that. Buyout firms are usually interested in executing an exit strategy within a reasonable time frame. What is an exit strategy? They decide when to exit from the business. These buyout firms may decide no in the initial stage itself. That is no before even no like signing the contract. They can decide when they want to exit from the business. So when it is mentioned in the contract, anytime during the contractual period, they can no like exit. So let's see, like what are all the advantages of, going for a corporate restructuring process. There are advantages, there are disadvantages. So as I mentioned earlier, like if the company is focusing to, like increase its capital, increase the fund flow into its business, want to shut down those operations or projects which is not beneficial or which is going to cause harm to the, the parent organization, or if they want to like go for diversification, if they want to go for expansion of the business, or if they want to go what do you say, like if they go want to share resources with another company and like go for joint venture concerns, or if they want to split the main parent company into many child companies, or if they want to go for subsidiary companies, for whatever reason, like they can go with corporate restructuring strategy. They can implement it. But if implemented in a proper way, it is no like advantageous. But when few things are not considered, it may become very disadvantageous. So let's see what are all the advantages of like implementing a corporate restructuring strategy. So it increases the operational efficiency. That is, helps streamline the business processes and eliminates all the inefficiencies, because a complete monitoring will be happening during the restructuring process. So obviously, it will increase the efficiency, operational efficiency. Improved financial health, because now you have secured the assets. You're not using the main asset for no operations, for the day-to-day operations. You're using only the working capital and not the main capital. So that's why financial health is like secured. Enables better management of debt, capital structure, and liquidity. Cost optimization, so cuts down the unnecessary expenses by consolidating roles and departments. That is not like consolidating the roles and consolidating the departments, merging the departments to cut down the cost. Better resource allocation, that is focuses resources. So all resources, people or manpower is a resource, capital is a resource, time is a resource, skill, the manpower skill, no, so that is also a resource, machineries, everything, no, like the raw materials, everything is a resource. So better resource allocation is like being done. Focus on the core business. So companies can focus on the core business because their main assets are secure. They don't have to worry about it, so that they can focus on the core business. Divesting non-core units allows attention on primary business goals. Tax benefits. Mergers or acquisitions may bring tax savings through restructuring tax strategies. Enhanced shareholder value. Boost investor confidence and can lead to improved stock performance. So when restructuring is happening, yes, there is a chance to attract more potential investors into the company. Faster decision making. A learner organizational structure often results in quicker approvals and agile responses. That is, no agile is no the real time responses, no like according to the market, according to the trend in the market, and access to new markets or technology. And mergers or acquisition provide entry into new customer bases or technical capabilities. So when Maruti Suzuki was formed, so how many customer base like they have got? So many of them like got the products vehicles from book the vehicles from Maruti Suzuki. So like a new customer base is formed, and a new kind of technology like that is also been implemented. Strengthened competitive position helps in building a stronger market presence against the competitors. Now, let's see the disadvantages. If not implemented properly, if the strategy is not implemented properly, it is the planning is done not done before the implementation, or if the implementation is too quick, not no at the not at stage level, but it's too quick, and the stakeholders are not aware about the the restructuring which is happening in the organization, then there will be completely chaos, and many disadvantages will be there. Let's see one by one. Job losses and employee morale issues. So yes, while for capital for this corporate restructuring, sometimes it the company may require to fire off, that is to send off an employee or few of the employee or a group of employees, or completely like a project itself. They want to like dissolve a project and send all those who are involved in the project. They want to send off those because they are very aware. The company is aware that this is not going to work anymore because like it is going to like create a great loss for the company. So they have no other way. So downsizing often leads to layoffs, creating fear and dissatisfaction. And because of this, the other departmental employees or the other project members also know like they may have a fear that they will also be sent off like at any point of time. So what will happen is they will start looking for a better opportunity. They will start like looking for another company to like to leave this parent company and join some other company. So that's like little a difficult issue to handle with. High restructuring cost. Of course, like though the main asset was secure, but implementation of corporate restructuring, so that involves cost. Legal, consulting, and administrative cost can be significant. Operational disruptions can happen during transition, that is, during the implementation. Daily operations may slow down or suffer. Loss of key talent. So the main key talents in the company, like they may fear loss of the job, and they may like go to the competitors company. They may like go to another company. So loss of key talent, that may be possible. Uncertainty may prompt skilled employees to leave the organization. Cultural integration issues. Merged entities may face conflicts due to differences in work culture. Japanese work culture is different, Indian work culture is different. So when Maruti and Suzuki, like they join together, obviously, initially there will be a cultural integration issues. Regulatory delays, government approvals for mergers or acquisitions, it will take time. Not immediately the government will give approval for that. Negative public perception that may happen. Stakeholders may view restructuring as a sign of instability because, of course, at the time of restructuring, the organization will be in a little vulnerable condition. Dilution of control. Mergers or equity restructuring may reduce the control of original promoters or owners. Yes, they may lose some control because decision making is not in their control anymore because it's a new venture. So the new venture will be having its own management, its own decision making, its own department, and its own capital. So yeah, so control over the joint venture or like the subsidiary company, like that may not be possible. Overestimation of synergies. Expected benefits from mergers may not always materialize as planned. Sometimes, it may even, like face a loss. And complex legal and tax implications requires navigating legal frameworks and may trigger unexpected liability. So this may also happen. Now let's see about few conclusion points. Then we will take a look on the few corporates, the very famous corporates all over the world, and how they have implemented this restructuring process, and what did they get out, get from it, whether it was a success or it was a failure. We will discuss about it, but let's see a few conclusion points before going into it. So restructuring is an ongoing process. Few companies may have a definite time for restructuring process. Otherwise, usually any company you take, it is an ongoing process. They keep on rearranging the things because no company can function with rigid rules and regulations. If a company is following a rigid set of rules and regulations or rigid set of operations, so it is not going to survive in the industry because they have to adapt to the external changes, market changes, the industry changes. They have to adapt to the technological changes. So they have to go for restructuring, and it's an ongoing process. And understanding the relationship between corporate restructuring and its employees is a key, not only to improving any organization's ability to move through change effectively, but to guarantee everlasting competitiveness. Organizations are encouraged to preemptively restructure. What is preemptively restructure? Informing their employees and the stakeholders that they are going to go for a restructuring process, making them ready. and like giving them an idea about how the restructuring process is going to be. The more extensive the restructuring, the greater the growth prospects. The stronger the growth, the greater the need for restructuring. Continuous organizational learning is necessary for organizations to stay up to date and excel, and must be the essence of every restructuring. Organizations that are not willing to learn will become obsolete. They will be no more in the industry. At the end of the day, whether it is an organizational, financial, or portfolio restructuring, a successful corporate restructuring rests on the human behavior. A change in behavior, that is changing the belief system of the people in the organization. The people should be, that is, the employees should be ready to change. They should be ready to adapt. Because if their behavior is not going to change, if they are not ready to adapt, then restructuring is going to be a failure one. And organizations must perform a restructuring audit. So they have implemented restructuring process, but a continuous monitoring has to be like done, and auditing has to be done on their business periodically, looking for opportunities to create value by voluntarily restructuring before circumstances leave them with no choice. So they advise that like it is not necessary only for like fewer reasons a company should go for restructuring. Even if there is no necessary no like there is no necessary for company to go for a particular restructuring process in order to to become market friendly, consumer friendly, or technology friendly. The companies can go for a restructuring process. So although restructuring is a valued tool for an organization to use in an attempt to maintain its goals and objectives, many companies recognize the need to restructure too late. And when fewer options remain, saving the organization may be more difficult. That is, when the risk is faced, when the restructuring is done, implemented after the company facing the risk, no, so that will be very, like tough to go on with, because like it's already too late. So it's better for the company to like go with the restructuring process, even if they predict or like assume that there is going to be a risk in the nearby future. So they don't have to wait till the risk happens. Even before the risk can happen, they can go for restructuring process. The pattern of a typical corporate restructuring process calls for an organization to stabilize its financial situation, return to profit, and then focus on growth. So, stabilize the financial situation, secure the assets, secure the shareholders, secure the founders and investors, return to profit, go on with the working capital, and then focus on the core operational activities. In parallel, it must strengthen its core business so that it can generate enough cash to finance subsequent growth initiatives, although focusing on core business alone is not enough. To achieve value building growth, companies must develop and maintain balanced business portfolio. So, what is a portfolio? What is a business portfolio? That is how the company exhibits, shows itself to its stakeholders. That is the company's portfolio. So what they do, what is their brand, what are their products, and who are the like the owners or shareholders of the business, where are they located, what other like diversifications they have, what other products line they have, and what is their objective, what is their mission, vision statement, what is their tagline, everything, like how the company shows up to their like stakeholders. That is called a business portfolio. So they have to like maintain and balance the business portfolio when the restructuring is happening. Because like if portfolio is not maintained, the competitors in the company in the industry may create something like a negative illusion about the company which is going the which is undergoing the restructuring process. So before going for restructuring, they have to have a good business portfolio. They have to show off their business portfolio in the market, and silently they have to go with the restructuring process. The key challenge is to nurture growth options while divesting underperforming or non-core business proactively. Success in proactive divestitures, as that is like even before the risk is happening, you're going with the restructuring. That is a proactive restructuring. A significant restructuring tool is more likely when companies use deliberately interim solutions to an eventual exit and lay the groundwork for creating a standalone entity. And the final point here is organizations need insight into how to best utilize talent and find the best fit between existing employees and the jobs that await them. Restructuring initiatives fail when undertaken approaches are unrealistic. So the restructuring objective, no, it should be realistic. It should be achievable. It shouldn't be something which is not achievable or which is no like out of the line. So all over, no, like the everyone, no, the organization, whether it's the top management, shareholders, investor, the middle level managers, or the no, like the workers, the employees, the laborers, anyone, no, like uh, for anyone, it should be no something, no, like their whatever responsibility they have been given with, it should be something achievable and it should be realistic, and it shouldn't be something, no, which is not achievable or non-realistic. So these are the points, no, to be kept in mind for the corporates, no, before they go for the restructuring process. Now let's see few examples of, no, like the corporates which have done the restructuring process, and what was the, no, like the result, what result, no, like they got, no, out of this restructuring process. First, let's take Apple, Apple Computers Incorporation. So, what type of restructuring they did was strategic and organizational restructuring. So, in 1997, so Steve Jobs, no, the founder, returned to Apple and restructured the company by simplifying the product line, cutting unnecessary projects and focusing on innovation. Now, if you take the history, no, in the 1997s, you can see Apple, no, like they have sent out many employees, no, who were involved in projects which were, no, like not showing up in the sense it was not making any profit to the company. So those projects were identified and no, it was shut down, and all the most of the employees who were working in those projects, they were sent out of the company. So to cut down the cost, formed strategic alliances, including one with Microsoft. So with though Apple and Microsoft are no like the rival companies, but for restructuring purpose, no, like they formed a strategic alliances. They shared some resources. So the results were positive actually. Revived Apple's brand image and profitability, launched iconic products like iMac, iPod, iPhone. So those were so no like famous in 2000, the year, no, like 2000, 2001, it was, no, like very famous. Became one of the world's most valuable companies after this restructuring process. So this was all implemented by Steve Jobs. Second company we can uh, see as an example is General Motors. Restructuring type was financial restructuring. That is, no, like they declared bankruptcy and government bailout in 2009. They declared bankruptcy. So what happened was filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, eliminated underperforming brands like Pontiac, Saturn, Hummer. These were their, no, like the vehicle brands, their automobile brands, Pontiac, Saturn, and Hummer. So all these brands were, no, like they were eliminated because it was not performing. Many customers, no, like they were not interested in buying these vehicles for many reasons. Received a bailout from the US government and restructured its operations. So, what were the results? It was positive. Returned to profitability within 2 years. Regained investor confidence. So, what happened here was they have shut down those underperforming brands. So, budgeting towards that brands, no, so that money was saved, the cost was cut down, that money was saved, and with that money they focused on the core business, no, like the core business, the other brands, no, they know like started investing in it, they started implementing newest technology into this those core brands, no. So what happened, they regained the investor confidence and re-established itself as a global automotive leader. So next company we will be seeing is IBM, International Business Machines. So what type of restructuring happened here was in 1990s, strategic as and business model. So what happened? shifted focus from hardware to software and IT services. So till that point of time, IBM was into the hardware, no, like manufacturing the hardware components and no, like giving no, like IBM machines. That is the system. That is the desktop systems. They were no, like into this hardware machines. Then slowly they have shifted to software and IT related services, reorganized business units and embraced cloud computing and AI. Because no, like from 1960s itself, no, many no researchers no like were going on this cloud computing and AI. Cloud computing, no, like it's somewhat a new concept. Maybe can say no, like maybe after 1980s. But AI, no, research on AI was no, like it was going on from 1960s. So in 1990s to 2000, no, like AI started no like evolving slowly. Before that, it was in under research. Then from late 1990s, it started evolving slowly. So like IBM found out that AI is going to be the future, cloud computing is going to be the future. So that's why no, they totally no like they started shifting their focus to the softwares and IT services. And what was the result? Revived from near collapse to a global leader in technology service. So, what was their global leader? No, that time global leader, it was Apple and then was Microsoft. If IBM has not shifted their focus to software, if the restructuring didn't happen, IBM, no, we would have lost IBM. Like Nokia, no, like Nokia was not in the industry for some time, not in the picture for some time, right? So, same would have no like happened to IBM as well, and successfully adapted to changing technological trends and increased the service-based revenue significantly. So, yes, positive result. Then fourth example we are going to see is Netflix. Most of us know about us. And what type of restructuring process they went through was strategic restructuring from 2007 onwards. So you may be wondering, no, like Netflix, no, like in India. Okay, India, it no, like it came very late, but Netflix, no, it was available in uh, USA and then no, like few of the Western countries, no, like from late 2000 itself, from 2000 itself. So what happened? Transitioned from DVD rentals into online streaming. So before that they were into DVD rentals, and now no, like after 2007, they decided okay, so DVD is not going to be the future anymore. So online platform OTT, so online streaming they shifted to. Invested in original content production. They started producing no like original content. That is no like they started producing TV series and no like fictional series and no like OTT series. They started investing on that. Positive results. They also got a positive result, became a global streaming giant, gained over 200 million subscribers worldwide, revolutionized the entertainment industry. And finally, the fifth example we are going to see is Tata, our own Indian company. So under Mr. Ratan Tata and later, that is after Ratan Tata's demise, it was no like Cyrus Mystery. So these two people know like they implemented the corporate restructuring. What they did was they implemented organizational and portfolio restructuring. So portfolio is how the company shows itself no, to its stakeholders, that is portfolio. So what happened? Consolidated businesses under fewer verticals. There were many product lines. They consolidated no, all those product lines into fewer verticals. Focused on core sectors like steel, automotive, IT, and consumer goods because they know this is going to be the future. Because without no, like construction is important because people need buildings to live, and automobile is important because people need no like something to know like to carry, and IT is important because people need technology to make things simpler and easier, and other consumer goods no it's necessary like food, dress, apparels, and no like other consumer goods no that is also necessary, because without these no like human cannot survive hereafter. So in the future, no, without these things, the humans, no, like they cannot survive. So they have realized, no, like in the early itself, and they have focused their core sectors. These are their core sectors. They have no like other diversified sectors also, like they are into retailing, they are into no like franchising, and they are into many other no like ventures. But these are the core sectors, no. So they like focused on the core sectors and exited non-performing or unrelated businesses. Like you can see, like Nano was launched, but it was not liked by many customer group. So they stopped the operations. They stopped manufacturing like nano cars. Nano car is the best car, like best car to ride in Indian roads, especially, like you have very narrow streets and everything. It's the best car, but because of the failed marketing techniques, like it was not a big success. So what they did was they closed down the operations. So non-performing and unrelated businesses, like they exited from those businesses. And what was the result? Improved operational efficiency across group companies, enhanced global presence, that is acquisition of Jaguar, Land Rover, and also in India. So Tata is like promoting Jaguar and Land Rover, strengthened the Tata brand reputation worldwide. So I have taken only the top five companies. You can take any companies, like take Amazon for example. So initially Amazon was into like lending books, like it was into lending books, like then slowly they shifted to online lending of books, then slowly they shifted to like digitization of the book content, and they gave this online reading and stuff. And then they got an idea that consumer goods it's going to be the future trend, and people are going to order online because like since this online thing has come up, so people will be like consumers will be ordering everything A to Z products from online only. So that's how Amazon they shifted their core operations of like book lending to the consumer goods retailing. So like they have become a it has become a huge success. So take many corporates like for that matter, and there are like few corporates as well who has failed in the corporate restructuring process. It has failed because the implementation it was not like followed in a structured manner, and the stakeholders were not informed about the restructuring process. So because of that their employees many of their employees, the key talents in the companies they left the company and like they joined their competitors company. So like this many things have happened, and because of these restructuring failures, many companies have dissolved. Many companies are not in the industry anymore. So you can like take those examples as well. So yes, we have come to the end of the session. This is the last session of corporate restructuring, and I'll be here for 5 more minutes. If you have any doubts, you can ask.